Yes, sir.
Will you state your name, please?
David R. Vido.
And will you spell that, please?
Vido.
And how are you employed?
As a detective with the Indiana State Police assigned to the Lafayette Post.
And how long have you been a law enforcement officer with the Indiana State Police?
Over 10 years.
And do you go through special education, training to become an Indiana State Police officer?
I did. I graduated the Indiana State Police Law Enforcement Academy after the 6-month academy and have taken, since then, numerous trainings every year, law enforcement trainings every year, including IMPD's Homicide Investigation School and Reed interviewing.
I want to take you back to October 13th of 2022. Were you on duty that day?
Yes, I was.
And did you assist in the execution of a search warrant for the home of Richard Allen?
I did.
And how were you involved in that search?
I witnessed pictures being taken and helped search for items in the residence.
You assisted in the search of the home?
Yes, sir.
What areas did you search in the home, if you know?
Mainly, I searched the master bedroom, the master closet, the garage, kitchen, and the office and spare bedroom.
And while you searched the residence, when you would find an item that you collected from the search, would someone be there to photograph that item?
Yes, Troop.
And would go ahead.
Trooper Matthew Clements.
And were you present when Trooper Matthew Clements photographed the items?
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as State's Exhibits 247 through 275. Can you go through those photos, please?
Yes, sir. These were photographs taken during the search warrant.
And those aren't all the photos taken, correct?
That's correct. These are.
But there's some of the photos taken?
That's correct.
And you recognize those as photos that were taken, again, during the search warrant of Richard Allen's home?
Yes, sir.
Judge, the state would move to admit what's been marked as State's Exhibits 247 through 275.
No objection. All right. Without objection, 247 to 275 inclusive are admitted. State's Exhibits 247 through 275 admitted.
And Judge, would ask permission to publish those to the jury.
You may. State's Exhibits 247 through 275 published.
Trooper. Judge, is it okay if proceed?
Yeah, you can proceed.
Okay. Thank you, Judge. Trooper Vido, I'd like to direct your attention to the TV here in the courtroom, and I'd like to go through these photos and just briefly describe each photo.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna start with State's Exhibit 247. Can you explain to the jury what that is?
Yes. This is a picture of the outside of Richard Allen's residence located in Delphi, Indiana.
State's Exhibit 248?
This is a different angle of Richard Allen's residence where you could see his vehicle parked in the garage.
And State's Exhibit 249?
This is Richard Allen's 2016 Ford Focus. That was the vehicle he drove to the trails on February 13, 2017.
Objection, Your Honor. Calls for speculation for the officer.
Fine, Judge. I'll move on to a different question. Was this vehicle in the home that you searched on October 13, 2022?
Yes, sir. It was in the garage.
Okay. State's Exhibit 250.
This is another picture of his vehicle with different lighting and a different angle.
And I want to draw your attention to the wheels in this picture. Are you able to see light projecting through the wheels on the vehicle?
Yes, sir.
State's Exhibit 251.
This picture is taken inside of the garage still. It is the doorway. There is the entry into the house that would go into the laundry room. Next to the doorway, there's a storage rack and boots that were stored outside the entryway.
State's Exhibit 252. What is this a picture of?
So this is still inside of the garage. This workbench would have been on the other side of the car, that the car was blocking, and we located numerous knives on the workbench and, in the drawers, a couple box cutters.
States Exhibit 253.
There are the knives that were located in the garage out of the sheaths.
These are the knives in the previous picture. States Exhibit 252, just out of the holder or the sheath for the knife.
Yes, sir.
Okay. States Exhibit 254. Where are we now in the house?
This picture moves into the kitchen of the house. This is in between the refrigerator and the stove with a little basket that contained what you would carry like ever day, like sunglasses, keys, Richard Allen's name badge, a box cutter, and 2 knives.
Were the knives and the box cutter when you searched the home? Where were those?
I believe they were either in the basket or right next to it.
And in the basket is a name tag with Rick's name on it.
That is correct.
States Exhibit 255.
This picture was taken in the office. It is of a plastic bag that had a bunch of cell phone chargers and other device chargers, electronic device charging cables.
States Exhibit 256.
These were all of the phones that were located in the office, including the pagers and the older flip phones. There was also phones located in his, Richard Allen's closet in the master bedroom. The only phone that we were not able to recover was the one from February 13, 2017.
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation. He has no idea what other phones they may have had that may not have been there. Overruled.
Go ahead, Trooper.
Like I said, these are the phones that they had kept in the office and...
You also found phones in the bedroom?
That's correct.
Is there a picture of those phones?
I do. There is a picture of them. It's not included with these pictures, but I believe it was of 2 other flip phones and 2 walkie-talkies.
Okay. States Exhibit 257.
These were knives that were found inside the home, I believe inside the master bedroom.
States 258.
These are the knives from the previous picture, but out of the sheaths.
I want to move to States Exhibit 259.
This picture is in the master bedroom. This would have been Richard Allen's closet in the master bedroom.
States Exhibit 260.
Still inside Richard Allen's closet with the gun cases and shoes.
States 261.
Still inside of the closet with the boots and the shoes underneath the clothes.
States Exhibit 262.
This picture moves into the foyer of the home. This was in the coat closet located in the foyer and a picture of a jacket that was similar to what he described he was wearing on February 13th.
States 263.
That's just a picture of the back of the jacket.
Move on to States Exhibit 264.
This is a picture back in the master bedroom. This was the .40 caliber firearm that Detective Liggett located in Richard Allen's nightstand next to the bed.
And were there 2 magazines found with that firearm?
I believe so, yes.
And were those loaded?
I do not recall if they were loaded.
Are they loaded in the picture?
Yes, sir.
States Exhibit 265.
It is the picture of the serial number of the SIG firearm.
States Exhibit 266.
It is another picture, different angle, of the firearm.
States Exhibit 267.
That is another picture of the firearm and the ammo that was in the magazines.
And States Exhibit 268.
That is the .40 caliber blazer round that was in the magazines of that firearm.
Now, I believe, when I read the top of that, it says Blazer and it looks like it has an SNW on it. Can you explain that?
That's .40 caliber Smith & Wesson.
And what is Blazer? What does that identify?
That would be the name of the ammunition.
States Exhibit 269.
This is of a picture of a memory box or a keepsake box that was located in the master bedroom.
States Exhibit 270.
This is a picture of the inside of the box that contained numerous items from Richard Allen's previous employment, graduation cards, a note from his mother, and there was also a .40 caliber hollow point Winchester round located on the left, lower left side of the box that was similar to the round found at the crime scene.
States Exhibit 271.
Another picture of the box with different items located in it.
States Exhibit 272.
That is a closer-up image of the round that was located in that box.
Then, States Exhibit 273.
That is a picture of the back, the Winchester .40 caliber Smith & Wesson round.
Now, both this round and the rounds that were in the gun have Smith & Wesson on them.
That is correct.
Can you explain why they both, and are they of the same brand?
Different manufacturers, I believe, one being Blazer, one being the Winchester. One was a hollow point, the other was full metal jacket, but same caliber of round.
Why do both have Smith & Wesson on or S&W on them? Do you know?
I believe it's just the same caliber of that the round is.
Okay. But the brand you're saying Winchester and Blazer are different brands?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. States Exhibit 274.
This is a picture that I took in the spare bedroom. It is of a photo album that was stored in that room of different pictures of the Monon High Bridge and the trails. It appeared that Richard Allen and his family had gone out to the trails multiple times a year, and they documented the photos in these photo albums. The earliest I believe that I was able to find was from 2008.
Then, finally, States Exhibit 275.
These are other pictures from the photo album. Going from our right to left, the caption is a little bit cut off, but that picture is from February of 2016, and I believe the caption says, Ricky posing by a tree. The middle picture is from March of 2016, of Richard Allen fishing in Deer Creek. And then, the one all the way on the left is a picture of Richard Allen from April of 2016, looking down off of the Monon Trail.
After you concluded the search warrant at the house, were there the items that you collected? Were they sent to the various Indiana State Police labs to be tested?
That is correct. First, myself and Trooper Clemens transported them to the state police post and secured them.
I don't have any other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Ms. Auger. Thank you, Your Honor. Trooper, how do I address you?
Trooper is fine.
Okay. Trooper Vido, I want to show you pictures 270, 271, 272, and 273.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, it's important you can keep those. It's important to conduct a search in a professional way. Yes?
Are you asked?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And especially when you're dealing with the murder of 2 young girls.
Yes, ma'am.
And you were supervising the photography.
I would say that's incorrect.
All right. Were you there and pointing things out to the photographer?
Multiple detectives were there, and when we would find an item that we were going to collect, they would take a photograph of it before we would take it.
And what about those photographs? Did you supervise those photographs?
I was present when they were taken.
And you would want to make sure that those photographs were taken in a very professional way.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And you made sure that someone photographed the bullet end of the cartridge, is that correct?
I don't believe I made sure that they did that, but they did take a pie tour of that.
Okay. So we have the bullet end in a copper color, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And then we also made sure we got the other end of the bullet, correct?
Yes. Trooper Clemens did take a picture of that.
Okay. And what do you call the I'm not a never touched a gun? What do you call that end?
I'm not too sure. That would be where I can't think of the exact term.
How about thin and bullet end?
The opposite end, correct.
The opposite end, all right. So you've got both ends of the bullet, right?
Correct.
And someone's holding the bullet?
That's correct.
And this is a bullet that you seized?
That is correct.
And you sent it to the crime lab?
I'm unaware if that was sent to there.
All right. But you wouldn't want to change it or damage it in any way by photographing it, right?
I don't understand your question. I'm sorry.
Well, by photographing it, is it possible you may change it in any way?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And there's a picture of someone's hand in the picture.
That is correct.
Is that unprofessional?
I don't know how they would have taken a picture of that without having to move that from the box.
Okay.
From how it was sitting in the box.
So it wouldn't be unusual to have a photograph of someone's hand holding a piece of evidence in order to properly document it.
Can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Probably not. Let me try. It's not unprofessional for someone to hold a piece of evidence to properly photograph it.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Items 274. Okay? Photographs of the Monon High Bridge?
That is correct.
All right. You have no idea who took these.
I do not.
It's not uncommon at all for people in Delphi, Carroll County, even Tippecanoe County to go out to the Monon High Bridge Trail.
Judge, can I have a few foundational questions?
Yes.
Are you familiar with what families do in Carroll County and Tippecanoe County?
I am not.
Are you familiar with what pictures families in Carroll County and Tippecanoe County take?
I am not.
Are you familiar with what families in Tippecanoe County and Carroll County visit the high or the trails and the Monon High Bridge?
I am not, other than who I've interviewed.
Judge, I'm gonna object the question. It calls for speculation.
Sustained. You know Betsy Blair frequently went to the Monon High Bridge Trail.
Yes, ma'am.
She's from Tippecanoe County.
I was unaware she was from Tippecanoe County.
All right. And you know that Rail Voorhees went out to the Monon High Bridge Trail.
Yes, ma'am.
Frequently.
I don't know frequently.
You don't know that? Okay. And you know Bree Wilbur goes out to the trail, right?
Yes, ma'am, I know she did.
Right. You know David McCain goes out to the trail.
I believe so, yes.
All right. In fact, the trail has been improved, is that correct?
From what I've heard, yes, ma'am.
All right. And it is, have you ever passed by the Carroll or the Delphi signs, town signs?
Which signs, ma'am?
Any of the signs that say kind of welcome to Delphi.
I believe so, entering town, yes.
All right. And Delphi kind of advertises these trails, right?
I'm not too sure about that. I've interviewed people that have lived there, here their whole life, and they didn't know the bridge or the trails existed, and I've interviewed people that have went out there.
Fair. Now, I'm gonna show you picture 275.
Yes, ma'am.
Are those photographs of Richard Allen?
Yes, ma'am.
Less than a year before Abby and Libby disappeared?
I believe so from what was written on the captions on the sides of them.
Okay. Obviously, Richard Allen didn't take those pictures.
It doesn't look like it.
Or he's a gifted selfie taker. Okay. Describe his hair for me.
On the one image that was all the way on the right, he's wearing a hat. On the image in the middle, it looks to be short. And then, on the image that was all the way to the left, I'm unable to see exactly what his hair was.
Okay. Kind of your length?
Possibly.
His hair's not curly, is it?
I can't tell from the two pictures.
Were you present during any interviews of Richard Allen?
I was present viewing them, not in the room, but viewing them, yes.
You were present in another room, watching it by video?
That is correct.
All right. What was the length of his hair?
I do not recall at that time.
Okay. Now, you took a picture of a bunch of knives, right?
Trooper Clemens took the pictures.
I'm sorry. There were pictures taken of a bunch of knives, right?
That is correct.
And Richard Allen, are you aware that he has a fishing license?
I was not aware of that.
All right. Not unusual for hunters or fishermen or even people who live in the country to have a lot of knives?
I couldn't say. Just depends, I suppose.
Okay. I'm not a fisher person either, fisher woman, but I think people use knives to do that, right?
To fish?
Yes.
I don't know how they'd use a knife to spearfishing possibly.
All right. Well, you cut lines, right?
That maybe get tangled.
Okay.
Scissors or something.
All right. And I think you fillet fish.
That's correct.
All right. So that wouldn't be uncommon for a fisherman to have knives like that.
Sure, fillet knives, sure.
All right. Not uncommon for people to have box cutters.
Sure.
All right. And you, the phones. People frequently recycle phones, right?
Depends on the person, if they save them or recycle them.
All right. And you have no idea what phones Richard Allen kept and what phones they may have recycled or disposed of or traded in.
From what we saw at the residence, it appeared that they had kept a majority of their phones.
All right. There are a lot of pagers.
And pagers.
I mean, people haven't carried pagers for a long time, would you agree?
I would agree.
All right. So all of these go back years and years and years, right?
That's correct.
All right. And you don't know if, at some point, maybe they changed their habits in terms of recycling or turning in phones?
Correct, I do not know.
And again, blue Carhartt jackets. Lots of people have blue Carhartt jackets, right?
I couldn't tell you.
All right.
I don't know.
Not unusual for people to have a Sig Sauer gun.
I'm sorry.
Not unusual for people to have a Sig Sauer gun?
I couldn't say.
All right. In fact, you collected other people's Sig Sauer guns in the course of your investigation.
I don't believe I collected any.
Are you aware that other Sig Sauer guns were collected in the course of this investigation?
I'm unsure which ones were.
All right. What is your role in the investigation?
I was assigned in April of 2019, full-time in a temporary duty assignment to assist in the investigation.
And you don't know what evidence was collected?
I was not present during the entire investigation from 2017.
Was it important to kind of get yourself caught up?
I did. I went through the evidence the best that I could, the large binders, to see what we had in evidence.
Now, the blue Carhartt jacket you collected, you sent it off to the lab?
I believe it was sent.
Okay. Anything it was tested?
I believe it was tested.
Anything linking Richard Allen to the murder of Abby from the coat?
From the coat, I was not aware of anything that they found at the lab.
Okay. Anything tested from the coat that links Richard Allen to Libby?
Nothing that I was aware of.
You seized his car, his 2016 Ford Focus?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Anything in the car linked Richard Allen to the murder of Libby?
That the vehicle was on the camera at the Hoosier Harvest Store.
Richard Allen's 2016 Ford Focus is on the Hoosier Harvest Store?
I believe so.
You can prove that?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And you proved it by a license plate number?
By the description, the look of the vehicle, and the time that we were provided by Mr. Allen and the time on the video.
Okay. Lots of black Ford Focus vehicles in the country, right?
I don't know.
All right. Anything that you tested inside of Richard Allen's 2016 Ford Focus vehicle, can that be linked to the murder of Libby?
I do not believe so.
All right. And anything tested inside Richard Allen's 2016 Ford Focus vehicle, can that be linked to the murder of Abby?
I do not believe so.
All right. All the knives, did you find a single knife that you can link to the murder of Libby?
That were located at the residence?
Yes.
No.
Okay. What about Abby?
No.
Okay. Now, there was clothing missing from the crime scene, correct?
I believe so, yes.
All right. There was a girl's sock?
Yes.
And a girl's pair of underwear?
I believe that's accurate.
All right. And you did everything you could to search everywhere in Richard Allen's house, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And his car?
Yes, ma'am.
I think people even were digging in his yard, is that right?
I believe that they were using a metal detector.
Did they try to dig up some things?
I believe so.
All right. You ever find the girl's pair of panties?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Did you ever find the girl's sock?
No, ma'am.
Now, Sarah Carbaugh gave a description of a man walking on 300 North. Recall that?
I don't believe I was involved at the investigation at that point.
Okay. Well, that's a pretty important piece of evidence, because that establishes the endpoint of your timeline, right?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question?
I mean, Sarah Carbaugh's statement is very important because it establishes the end of your timeline when you believe these murders occurred, right?
It was a statement from a witness that we took into account, yes.
And that helps to establish your timeline.
Possibly, yes.
Possibly? All right. And are you aware that Sarah Carbaugh gave a description of an individual covered in blood?
I believe so, yes.
All right. And blood transfers to different fabrics?
I believe so, yes.
Right. And someone covered in blood who got in their car, you can test for that blood years later, right?
If the blood were to transfer, yes.
Yes. And there was a lot of blood at that crime scene, right?
How it was explained to me was that the blood could have dried to that point, that it could have been dried to that point in it.
Who explained that to you?
Just during the course of the investigation, Taki aimed to different law enforcement entities.
Okay.
I don't recall exactly who.
Are you telling us that dried blood can't transfer?
I'm not sure.
All right. So whoever murdered Libby and Abby probably had a significant amount of blood on their clothing, right?
I'm gonna object to the form of the question, Judge, and not to mention it's outside the scope of direct at this point.
Sustained. Nothing further. Mr. McClelland.
No other questions, Judge. Thank you.
Does anybody on the jury have any questions for Detective Vido?
No response or indication from any juror.
All right. Thank you, Detective. You may step down. You may call your next witness.